Yeah, did you really? Did you really? That a boy. You tell your wife?
Huh?
You tell your wife?
No.
No. Right. Let people kind of get on here a little bit. Takes about 30 seconds. Yeah. So Tony Reed will be in here this afternoon.
Yeah, I know.
And it's been going good. It's been going good.
I'm not nosy. What's it cost to get him come?
I'm giving him $200 an hour. He said he didn't want anything, and I said no, we're not doing that. Hey, welcome, Larry Richwine, Jason Schultz here with booth 3194 at the farm show. We're doing interviews all day long. Larry's driving by, so Larry's here teching. Larry, what's a farm show? Just from no association, what's a farm show mean to you? Being involved in pulling your whole life.
Well, it's the largest indoor, most recognized event in the world, pulling tractor-wise.
We got Toast Our Coal Train.
Yes, we do. Toast Our Coal.
Coaltrain.com, baby.
Mine's sugar-free today.
Mine too. How many originals did you have yesterday?
I had 3 originals yesterday, and I want to apologize to the hotel staff because today I'm drinking sugar-free. But no, they're awesome drink and good product. And as soon as I receive shipment, you'll never see me on the Let's Grow Pulling podcast without a gold train in my hand. But it's the largest, most prestigious indoor event in the world.
Yes, it is.
And I've been doing their tech and safety fuel tests for a little over 25 years.
In the 25 years, have you had some fuel issues?
Oh, heavens, yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's part of it.
Would you say one every show or?
Oh, violations?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe one every 3 shows.
Okay.
But the deal is they can bring it into the shop, into the one room where I'm doing it and get it pre-checked to make sure where it's right. I mean, if somebody gets violated, it's because violates it, it's because they definitely knew they were doing it.
Yep.
How they get away with it.
Exactly.
And I always tell them, well, if you plan on finishing 4th or later or down,
right?
Go ahead and dump it in. But if you're going to be in the top 3, we're going to weigh you back and check it.
So what I like is, do they bring the top 3 back, or everybody that make the finals?
All classes bring the top 3 back to Broadbent at the pit building, and I weigh them back, and then I draw fuel and water samples off of them, and then I go and check it. So that's every division, including methanol for the mods and the 2-wheelers.
So Greg Elsing had the big turbo bang last night.
Oh, yeah.
You guys just put in the crossbolt right before.
Well, it wasn't a crossbolt.
Or what is it?
It's a restraint system that goes on the compressor side and holds the both the halves of the compressor together in case it was to split or explode. And it worked. And then there's a blanket also around the compressor side of the turbo.
Awesome.
Yeah, it worked well.
Good.
I was very proud, and I had nothing to do with it.
Well, I think you had a little bit to do
with it.
Well,
a little bit to do with it, but no, the committee put the rule in, and no other sanctioning bodies adopted it yet, but I think they will now.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Yeah.
Skip like that. Anything else you want to talk about today? I know you're busy.
I'm busy. I just wanted to stop by. I promised I'd come by. And I got
Do you like the new tractor?
I like the new tractor.
Is it because of the girl or?
No.
No. You don't.
No, I mean, I like girls.
You like girls. Good.
I like girls. I have no tendencies the other way. But you keep telling me you love me. And I said, no homo.
No homo.
But no, I like the girl on the wrap. And it's pretty good. You know, if it runs half as good as it looks,
we should be okay.
We're going to be awesome.
We should be okay. Larry, we appreciate you. Hey. Larry's on with us every Monday night that he can be on Let's Grow Pulling Live, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, YouTube and Facebook. Thanks for all that you do, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Matt Goodwin's going to come up next. Everybody knows Matt Goodwin. He's one of my pulling heroes growing up. And I have a diesel super stock now, the Remedy. So it's pretty cool. You guys want to stand or sit? Okay, come on in. So Matt Goodwin and Mike Idle, guys, coming in next. If you have any questions for Mr. Goodwin, he's my pulling hero. I appreciate this. I get to run with him now. This is going to be awesome.
It'll be fun.
This is going to be awesome. So, we got a spammer. Uh-oh. Hey, guys, you can chat me up for more hot video of me. I don't need your money. I'll have mine.
What do you tell them? Go back to bed.
Go back to bed.
Go back to bed, spammer. Hey, what's going on, guys? Another fun one here. We're at booth 3194 with the Beer Money pulling team right in front of the beautiful new Remedy tractor. Stop by and see us. We're in Louisville, Kentucky at the National Farm Machinery Show. We're talking to pullers. We're talking to everyone. Guess who walked by hanging out with us here? Matt Goodwin, driver of the 8,000-pound diesel super stock he calls the Intimidator. Matt, how we doing today, bud?
I'm good.
That's awesome. Hey, so we were talking off camera a little bit. 2023 wasn't a points hook season, but I got to see you run a little bit. Still a very successful season. Kind of picked and choose some of the pulls you decided to go to. What were some of those pulls that you had a good time at? And then kind of maybe tell us about some of your more memorable runs this season.
Wisner's always a blast. I love going there. I love pitting into the trees and down by the river. So got to try to make Wisner if you can. And then to make that pass there. Probably, I don't know. I might have got beat. Doug was not able to run that night with the Scrappy, so it might have been a different outcome, but he was going to have to make a pass to do it.
If you would have, you said you might have gotten beat. He's being very humble right now. We're going to talk about that distance. I was at that pool. He's talking about Thunder by the River in Wisner, Nebraska. Just tell me the first number that your distance started with that night.
It was a 4.
It was a 4. Ladies and gentlemen, we were over 400 feet. This was one of the most monster passes I had ever seen. Yeah, Doug Meisinger, Scrappy's a stud. But anytime someone pulls 400 plus feet, that would have been tough sailing to beat. There were a lot of good diesel supers at that pull. Wisner, Nebraska, you had yourself, Doug Meisinger, and then the King of Smoke himself was there as well. What's it like to pull with Esden Lynn when you see him?
It's weird pulling with your idol.
Sure.
It's fun. He's a great guy. And very seldom do I get around him, but got by him that night.
When you hang out with someone like Esden, do you kind of just sit back, watch, and listen, or is he another competitor when you roll out on the track?
Oh, there's a wealth of knowledge there, so you have to listen.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just like anybody else, I want to try to get around him. So.
And imagine, anytime you can beat someone like that, you get to put that in your back pocket, and that's just as good as winning anything else. So a couple other places you hooked this year. You went over to Sandwich, Illinois.
We did.
Big fair over there. And that's always kind of late in the season, and I always get the impression that you diesel pullers kind of use that as your who's going to stack against who. That's one of those litmus test pulls, and we see some crossover pulling over there. Big National Tractor Pullers Association points hook there. You kind of roll into someone who pulls with the Outlaws or pulled a little independent there. How'd you do against those NTPA boys?
We did all right. Well, we went there last year in 22.
Sure.
And I got a second in the afternoon and I think a fourth at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like pulling on the same day ever.
Sure.
Because I can't really do much
and
maintenance.
that's one of the few places where you'll still do that. You've got a noon hook and a 6 o'clock hook,
exactly.
if I'm right.
So we didn't have a whole lot of time to look at anything, but went back this last year in 23 and was able to sweep it. Got both wins.
So just to kind of put this in a box right here, didn't chase points, but we won at Wisner, one of the crown jewels of pulling. We swept at Sandwich, one of the biggest hotbeds for diesel super stocks. Would you say, all things considered, 2023 was a successful season?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I broke 3 injection lines. Never had broke one in the past before ever. Mm-hmm. And it won't run on 5 cylinders. So I was either a hero or a zero last summer, it seemed like. So
I spoke to another diesel super stock puller yesterday who used that same term quite a bit. I'm thinking that might be a theme in this class, but Travis Slawbaugh says that's kind of his approach to how he takes the whole sport. We're going to flirt with the lines and we're going to drive it like we stole it. Hero to zero is the way to go. Speaking of big name pulling, Matt Goodwin, you're right here. You're one of the biggest ones. We're standing in Freedom Hall. You've pulled here before.
Yes.
Tell us about the experience, or I should say we're not standing in Freedom Hall. We're just one building away from Freedom Hall. But tell us about that experience going down the tunnel of Freedom Hall, what it's like to pull at Louisville, and what that means for a puller.
Oh, it's awesome. You go down that ramp, and it's just, you see the amount of people that are in that building, and at one point in time, it's like you are the star of the attention. You're the main attraction for that one pass. So.
16,000 people and all eyes on you.
Yeah.
Now, are you the type of guy that when that happens, that kind of, fires you up? You get that competition, you get that desire to go out there and win. Are you just honored to be there, or do your nerves get a little tight seeing that many people watching?
I think it started out just being honored to be there, and then trying to do something better than I never won down here. Mm-hmm. So my father had won, I think, 4 or 5 times.
Sure.
I could never pull that W off, but so I don't know. Maybe I crushed under the nerves. I'm not sure.
Well, I tell you what, nerves or whatever it might be, and I've talked to several pullers. Sometimes these vehicles, they have a mind of their own, regardless of how you tune them and work with them. And the best thing you can do is just try to get along with them. It's been a tough track. It's been an excellent track, but man, it's took some power this year. We've kind of seen some of those tough runs. Have you had a chance to watch both the pulls the past 2 nights?
I have. Good shows.
Give me your impression just as a puller. If you were pulling, how would you assess the track? What adjustments would you make?
Depends on where you are in the class, and I think the starting line has been an issue to a certain extent.
Sure.
So it seems like they're hunting for that perfect hole shot, and I think it just depends on what number you got and what that position is, or what that track looks like at that point.
Getting a hold of the track, and that's something I did a lot of driver interviews leading up to this, and everyone said that first 60 to 100 feet is going to be everything. I would say, looking back last night, you talk about hole shots, and that's something that we can forget about. I think we saw 2 really good examples of great hole shots last night. Donnie Sullivan in the big stick and the 2-wheel drive, and Julia Ray Julia Ray and the Mac Daddy tractor. I felt like those guys put it to the ground hard, but they really found something and ran with it. What do you think of their runs last night?
I agree. And especially in the short track, you got to get your momentum up. You've got to get some speed up. Can't blow the tires off in the starting line. So they did an excellent job at that.
Yep. So we've talked Louisville pulling. We've talked 2023 season pulling. We were talking parts, behind the camera a little bit. One thing I've been telling people, it seems like we're finally getting over that COVID stuff. The parts are starting to come back. The fans are back. The pullers are here. Your parts are trickling in. They're getting closer. What are your plans, goals, and ambitions for this 2024 outdoor season?
So it's such a crapshoot. We're going to go out, and I think we're going to try to hit Hutchinson, Minnesota first.
Sure.
We'll see how that goes. I think the next hook is Toma, and then probably Rock Valley. But just to kind of see if it can stay together, we're going to try to – I'd really like to run a national circuit once.
Sure.
And I'm not getting any younger.
No, that's awesome. Guys, if you've never seen this tractor run, this thing is an absolute powerhouse. Your tractor can build the speed with the best of them. Talking about hole shots, talking about driving styles, I had the pleasure of interviewing Hans Boxler Jr. the other day, and he talked about how he was a very, very, very patient driver. Really let the boost build, was never in much of a hurry. Brent Payne kind of described himself as similar as that. Talked to Travis Slawbaugh yesterday, and he just kind of said left foot comes up, right hand goes down, and it's going to go. Hole shots. Tell me about your driving style. Are you patient out of the hole, or do you want to get that thing up and running as quickly as possible?
Well, I guess I think I'm probably patient. Just try to make sure it gets hooked. And not that the diesel has a lot of weighting. You got to be after it. But for the most part with the clutch especially, trying to slide it out there, get the tires hooked and go.
Yeah, kind of once the RPMs are where you want them, once the boost is where you want them. And last night in this indoor arena, you can hear it. You can hear in those big pros, that RPM would just jump, and then you would almost see that clutch come out immediately. So those diesels, when they're where they want to be, they're going to go down the track. Really quick, I'll let you get out of here. Talk to me about what got you into pulling and what keeps you going.
Actually, I went with my father and a bunch of his friends, and I would watch the smoke. I just love the diesel smoke.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why we still do it. I've had this conversation all over this week, but it's the people that you meet. It's like a family, and just a great bunch of people. It's obviously a thrill.
Sure.
But it doesn't, for dollars and cents, it doesn't make any sense. But it's just in my blood.
You're saying that you don't make a whole lot of, but this is not where you get your return on investment.
No.
And that's something to remember, guys. If you're fans out there, if you're considering getting into pulling, if you love this sport, this is why we work so hard to bring it to you. This is why we do the Let's Grow pulling. These guys aren't sitting here making millions of dollars every single time they win. This is a hobby. This is an experience, and they do it themselves. They're pouring their own capital into it. A lot of times they're building, they're wrenching, they're hauling, they're driving. It's all done independently, and we as fans get to benefit from that, and that's one of the greatest things ever. So you're going to big pulls this summer if you can make it there. You listed off some heavy-hitting pulls right there. Points championship, is that something you'd like to see yourself claim again before it's all said and done?
Yeah, it just depends on how the parts come.
Sure.
If you can't have parts, you can't win any points. You got to be at every hook.
Sure.
And a guy could turn it down and just try to make every show, but that's just not my style
Sure.
either.
Well, I like the way you're doing things. You're chasing that big competition. You're going after those big, heavy-hitting pulls. Would you ever drive anything other than a diesel super?
That's been discussed too, but I don't know what it'd be. I think a pro would be fun. The 10,000 pounds would. I think they hook to the track. They make a good pass. So.
Sure. And it seems like a lot of diesel super guys, or a lot of even, the 7,500 super stock guys over the past 10, 15 years have kind of made that switch to the single charger in the pro stock class. Man, this is just great. Pulling is fun. Thank you so much for taking some time and interviewing with us here today. Anybody that you want to say thank you to, or a shout out, anyone who might be watching at home, I'm going to go ahead and give you a chance to holler at anyone who might be out there.
Not that I can think of. Hopefully nobody's watching that I know.
He says, well, you know what? We don't have any squirrely comments over here, so no one's giving you a hard time.
Good deal.
Matt, you laid down one of the biggest passes I've ever seen in my life. It was one of the most exciting things that I've ever seen. Your tractor is one of the hardest running tractors out there. You do a great job representing the sport and any puller organization that you're working with at that time. Thank you so much for being here with us today. That was an excellent interview. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, I think 39 miles.